Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video on 7.2.1 that is going to be bullet time with Ebb&FLow knockdown. Now for bullet time, whenever you try to stun the defender, they immediately remove the stun and they get an evade charge on them. If you try to attack them, they have a 100% chance to evade that. But if you dex them, that evade charge is converted into a passive stun for 1.5 seconds for every evade charge they have on them. So the best way to approach this one is to build up a bunch of evade charges on the opponent, and then when they come into you, you dex it so they are stunned in a prolonged manner for 8 to 10 seconds depending how many charges you have on them. And once they are stunned, the next node is going to be Ebb&FLow knockdown. So the defenders will start with a protection on them for 60% of the damage, and there you will see a purple icon just below their health bar. All you need to do is to knock them down to take that away, and you will get a fury for 12 seconds, increasing your damage as well. Once the 12 seconds are up, the protection will return and you have to knock down them again. And there's also bleed vulnerabilities. If you use bleed champions, whenever the defender will be bleeding, they will take 200% extra damage. So those are the nodes that we'll be dealing with today. Some good options are obviously your bleed champions with skill and mutant class. Also anti-weight champions will work, and also the best champions will be that can do parry and heavy with bleeds. So we'll discuss more about that during the fight, during the path. And the boss today we're going to be attempting is going to be Moleman. It's a very quick and easy boss we're going to be attempting with Archangel. He will just melt away. But before we jump into the path, guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. All of that really helps me out a lot. So the first defender is going to be a Spidergwen. Now I'm gonna bring in a Moleman, and I have True Strike as long as I don't go into Frenzy and I'm staying below 10 monster mass. Even if I go up, there is a way that I can keep my True Strike on me, but the point here is to not let her use her evade, and you can easily lay into her and she will not get those bullet time evades, and even if she does, she will not be able to evade. So Moleman works perfectly fine. Another great option here can be your slow champions. So I'm talking about your Spider-Man Stealth Root, Shang-Chi. Also Nick Fury can work here. All you need to do is to reparry, build up those bullet time charges, and when you are up to 5 or 6, you can just dex, let the defender get the passive stun, use a heavy to knock them down so they can take 100% damage. So there's quite a few different ways to approach this fight, or you can just bring in Falcon and keep that lockdown on her and you can start laying into her. That's another way to kill her off. The next defender is going to be a Symbiote Supreme. Now you will notice that I am not really good at repairing and building up those bullet time charges, and I mess up a lot here. But I learned during the fight that if you don't parry, you don't give them an evade charge, and you can totally ignore the bullet time node. So what I do later in the fight is I just block, let him come into me, use a heavy attack, and once you use a heavy attack, I go back into him and give him damage. The way I remove Ebb&FLow knockdown is by using my SP1, and once that is down, I just start hitting into him, and again I'm just playing no parry style and getting rid of him as well. So there are different ways you can do this. If the champion does not have an evade naturally, you can just play by holding block with a high block proficiency champion. For me it was Captain America Infinity War. I will let him come into me, use a heavy attack, bait it out, and once he does, I would retaliate, and I keep using my SP1 to remove the Ebb&FLow knockdown, and I kill him off. It's a long fight. It's not the recommended route. I think the best route would be to bring in champions with bleed and use that with the bleed vulnerability to kill him off, but I already started the fight with Captain America Infinity War, so I went with him. The best champions here would be your Apocalypse, your Moleman, and your Archangel. They will just rip right through him and kill him off. The next defender is going to be a yellow jacket. Now again, you will need to do the same thing. You have to build up those evade charges by trying to stun and parry the opponent. So I am going to use a Nick Fury, who is incidentally the best choice for this path. So all you need to do is to build up those bullet time charges. I try to do them and then I fail miserably because I am not very good with handling bullet time. But again, you know what to do. Just build up some charges, use a dex, let them have that passive stun on them, a prolonged one for 5 to 6 seconds, and then you can use a heavy attack to remove the protection from Ebb&FLow, and then with the good bleed, heavy bleed champion, you can easily kill them off. And Nick Fury does that job, so does Blade, Archangel as well, and if you're going against a metal champion, so does Magneto as well, Moleman. All of the good champions with heavy bleeds can do this path very easily. Next defender is going to be Thor Ragnorok. Now he's a metal champion, so I've brought in Magneto. To be honest, there are going to be 4 defenders on this path that are going to be metal. So if you're not very familiar with bullet time and you're not sure how to handle it, just bring in the Magneto and he will clear 4 champions easy. With Magneto, they will not evade and they will always getting stunned because of 85% ability accuracy reductions. Maybe sometime they will get the bullet time charge, but you don't need to worry about it. Just parry any heavy. Even if they remove a parry and they get a bullet time charge, you will be unstoppable and your heavy attack will still land. So build up to 40 prowess charges, use an SP3 and that's about it. The defenders will go down. And the next defender is going to be a Wasp. Now she's also a metal champion, so if you have a Magneto, just bring Magneto in. Now with Wasp, you need to be careful about that if she evades in whatever way, if she evades naturally from her own evade or she evades because of bullet time, she's gonna put a passive shock on you and also retaliate your hit. So you need to be careful about that. Just build up those bullet time charges and try to stun her by dexing, and then you can go attack into her. If not, just only attack her into when she is stunned or when she is parried to avoid her getting evade. If you keep that in mind, then you can easily kill her off. Her armor is not the best. She takes a lot of damage from bleeds, so you can kill her off easily. You might get cornered like I am, but that's okay. You can make your way out of it. I do make a mistake here and get hit by an SP1. If you don't do that with the patience, it's a good and easy fight. You can bring him down with any bleed champions very quick because of the bleed vulnerability 200%. And the last defender before the boss is going to be a Loki. Again, he's a pretty easy and simple fight. The only thing you need to take care about is his SP1, because he gains power continuously until 1 bar of power, just like Doctor Strange. So he might be able to intercept you with an SP1 if you try to go into aggressively. Now, once you have that out of the way, just build up those bullet time charges, and then once he is stunned for a prolonged amount like 6 to 7 seconds, all you need to do is to use a heavy attack, knock him down and remove that protection, and then you can just use any bleed champion, lay in the damage, and with bleed vulnerability 200% extra damage, you can take a chunk of health out like 60-70%, and then you have to repeat that. To be honest, the whole path is the same. Build up the bullet time charges, and once you have 5 or 6 of them, Dex, give the passive stun to the opponent, use a heavy attack to drop them down to remove the protection, and then bleed champions will take over to kill off them very quick with bleed vulnerability. The boss fight is pretty easy if you have the right champions. Now he has fight or flight, so just be careful about that. Unstoppable, and also he's got bleed vulnerability, so if you bring in any champion that has good bleed vulnerability, preferably a mutant champion, they will do good damage to him. And also whenever you knock him down, he will get a cruelty that is going to increase his damage by 1000%, so just be careful about that. And also there is a helpful node by the name of Foresight, so it is a very high risk high reward kind of a fight, but there are certain champions you bring in, you can easily bring down the opponent. In my case, it's going to be an Archangel. I'm just going to use Parry and Heavy and stack up those neurotoxins with an occasional for intercept here and there to get some fury from Foresight, and you will notice that he will bring him down really quick. Other options that you can use here is Cable with APOC. He works amazing here. You can also use Nick Fury and as well as Wolverine. If not, you can also use the juiced up Colossus or a Ghost with all of those specials. So all of them work. You just need to play around with fight or flight. It's not a difficult fight, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications. All of that really helps me out a lot and helps grow the channel. Stay tuned, guys, and apart from that, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.